Welcome to Two Guys, a Guy, and a Podcast where a couple of guys talk with another guy about the what, when, and the why in our lives. I am your host, David Weldon, and with me tonight, as always, our co-hosts, Aaron and Wesley. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Doing good.
Peachy keen. We're doing just fine. Just fine.
Peachy keen. That's the summer answer is peachy keen.
Peachy
now that
keen.
peaches are back at Costco. So that's my
Juicy peach.
That's how I know peaches are in season when they come to Costco.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
You track your seasons
Costco's the
through
only
store
place.
produce.
Yes. Hey, I try to keep the house either air conditioned or heated the whole time. So
Hey, if it
as
works.
soon as peaches come in, that's my So how you guys doing? How's summer treating you?
Fucking hot as balls over here in
Yeah.
Corona, man. Jesus Christ. Thank God for this pool or I'd be dead.
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot here.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's hot enough to stay indoors. It's hot enough to keep extra watch on your skin sun exposure.
Well, you know what the worst part about here is it's humid, but it's only humid because of the corn that's grown here. Yeah, so
You
it
have so
releases
much corn.
So much corn. It affects the environment, and there's a name for it. It's called the corn sweats. That's what they say when you're outside and you're sweating. You say like, I have the corn sweats.
Yeah.
Because the corn puts so much moisture in the air, and it makes it humid here.
Anything to make it sound more disgusting over there, right?
So if anything, that's a win for the food industry, right?
Guess so.
No, it's a win for corn. That's what it is. It's a win for corn. What is it? Corn has successfully harvested or domesticated humans, as they say.
Next time someone complains about there being no water, I'm going to say, yeah, well, because they got so much water over there, they're just letting their corn sweat. Those bastards.
That's it. No, hey, look, it's the butterfly effect. Corn sweats in Iowa. The wind brings it over.
So this is the Amazon? Is that what you're telling me?
That's how you guys get your rain. Is from
Iowa's
my
the Amazon of the
corn
United
sweats.
States.
You go into a cornfield and it's
protect-
just like a tropical jungle. You can't tell the difference if you're in Argentina or in Iowa at that point for some reason.
Protect the cornfields, man. There's so many species here.
They keep logging all of our corn out here. We're not going to have any oxygen left in the ozone.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? Though,
Yeah, so
it's a tight 20-degree difference between here and
the coast.
County.
Yeah.
Well, it's the coast.
It is.
Yeah,
And
you got the coastal.
It can change 10 degrees within 5-10 miles of being by the coast to going inland.
Crazy.
And then another.
Well, you guys
another
always
10.
remember Ojai, right? Ojai was always just awful.
Always hot as balls.
And that was like
Yeah.
it was like a 30-minute drive. It was ridiculous.
It's in a pocket. That's why.
You know.
A little sweat.
Pockets.
Little
We'll call it the hot pocket.
yeah, those hillbilly bumpkins in the rich Hollywood elite pocket.
I know.
Yeah.
How's the well, you guys aren't in a drought anymore, right?
No.
California is always in a drought.
But yeah, just
yeah,
like the U.S. will forever be in debt. We're always going to be in a drought.
You're always in a drought. Yeah.
No, but for the last 2 years, we've had a huge amount of precipitation increase. It's actually been the regular seasons that I remember from 10, 15 years ago. So that's good.
Well, I'll tell you the big news for me from this week, at least for today, is I'm out $14,500 paid today for Alice's school.
Jesus,
So that's
man.
my
Why do you? It sounds very reluctant. I know you talked about this a while back about it's either that or the basically inner city terrible schools that are public.
Or she gets molested, one or the other.
the schools where I'm at are actually pretty good. Predominantly white.
Yeah.
No. But
There it is. He said the quiet part loud.
He said the quiet. No. They're
Corn
quiet
sweats on his head
neighborhoods
now already.
They're quiet neighborhoods, Aaron. That's what we call them.
Yeah,
It's
quiet.
such a quiet neighborhood here. Yeah.
Children
Yeah,
of the corn
no.
neighborhoods. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Pasty.
No, the schools where I'm at are fairly nice, but the hope is that we take her to like a really nice school when she's younger, and then she's not going to have like a college fund. Like she's not going to get anything at the end.
No.
So we're putting all of our buckaroonies on her early. So the hope is that she will either, have a good foundation and know what she wants to do, or if she wants to go to college, she can get grants or scholarships or something like that. So
yeah, I never thought about that until you just said it right now, but it is kind of weird that we were basically waiting to tend to our crops after they've already been harvested. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, there's Timmy and Tammy, my favorite children. I'll just let them do whatever. I don't give a shit about raising them, education, morals, that kind of crap. I'll just wait until they're an adult. I'll just keep putting seeds in the silo, and then I'll when they're fully plucked, then I'll polish them. But no, maybe you want to actually tend to your produce, your offspring, as they're developing. And that way they become...
Yeah, I mean, this is the most important time for her to develop and to figure out what she wants to do. It's like, what happens when she's 18 or 19 and she doesn't want to go to college, or, she
and
had
Texas
like bad
and California
experiences
separated
in school.
from the... No, go on, son.
No. Yeah, and then she can't go there, so, where's she going to go? The civilized world is gone, but... No, so that's the hope. But yeah, that was my big thing this week.
Oh, well, I hope it works out, man.
I'm sorry to hear it.
And I'm sorry to hear it.
Hey, all of my eggs are in one basket, or my one egg is in one basket. Yeah. So that's I got one shot to
all one eggs, all in one basket.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
If I have another kid, then it'll be with a sigh, and no, I'm just joking.
Dude, imagine
that'll be my farm kid.
Hold on. Let's go through a hypothetical real quick. Let's say you do have another kid, David, and it's your worst nightmare. It's a boy.
Oh,
what are you gonna do?
I've actually. The more as I've been dealing with Alice as she's been getting older, if we were to have another kid, I would prefer for it to be a boy. When we had Alice, I wanted a girl. I did not want a boy. But now that we've had her, there's actually it's kind of like a weird feeling. I don't know how to describe it or why, but I would want to have a boy if I were to have another kid.
Is this weird to say, but does it feel like you've only experienced half of having a child because of the gender difference?
It's
maybe that's why everyone's trying to get their kids to transgender, so they get the full experience. They get the boy and they get the girl. They don't have to have two kids.
Well, Alice is
they're
young
multi-classing.
Enough now.
Yeah. It's just they just full spec and a polymorph.
Oh no! Oh. She
really, this is the subclass of another human, so it's kind of...
Oh god. No, but she's young enough to where she plays like games with me and stuff. There's not like she's not there yet, but something about as she's getting older and she's Tina paints her nails with her, and she puts on like a dress or something like that, and then
keep that going. Feminine things.
Well, except for the hair.
Well, I mean, she has really, except for the hair. We were in the store. Oh my, I can't even tell you. Again, I know she gets called a boy all the time, even like wearing a skirt.
She really?
Oh yes, every single time.
Oh, serious?
Hey, champ. Oh, hey, little man.
Champ.
Oh, you're such a what a big boy.
Open
and then we say like,
eyes,
oh, her
man.
name. Oh, come here, Alice. Oh, Alex, what a nice name. And the last time it happened,
dude.
Happened, she was wearing a pink skirt with a yellow shirt. And the nicest woman in the world came up. She's like, oh, can
Just
they
slap
have a
her.
treat, or can they have a sample? We were at
Yes.
Costco, and like we looked at her, it's like, oh yes, she can have one, and she was like, oh great, well here you go, thank you, sweetheart. Like then calling her a girl, but then she used like the they as it, and like and we were walking away, and I was just looking at Tina. I
It's
was
a
like,
bad taste in my mouth.
we put bows in her hair, we put skirts. Like I don't fucking get it. Like I look at her, I'm like, oh, that's not a boy. I know it's my kid, but like I see little kids and I see androgynous ones that are like, it could be one way or the other, but 90% are boys and girls. And my daughter looks like a fucking girl. Like I
Right.
don't get it.
Amongst the boys and the girls, she clearly looks more in the girl category. But does that make you
It's not like-
mad at all?
No, it
you don't
doesn't
have to
make
be
us
honest.
mad.
You could completely lie.
Oh no, I'll be honest. It doesn't make me mad. It's more along the lines of, it's just I just think they're fucking stupid. I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
it's a girl. And then it's also like, afterwards, Tina and I were like, what did we do wrong? She's
Nothing.
wearing a skirt. One time she was wearing a pink shirt that said Daddy's Girl on it. Like my parents got it for her. And she still got called a boy by this woman that we were
Just
passing.
punch
I was like,
him.
she's wearing a pink shirt with rhinestones on it that says Daddy's Girl. Like, I know you don't need to see the words and read it out, but like, get a fucking hint.
It's tough, man. Hell, even one of the biggest musicians of all time is a dude named Bad Bunny. I mean, that sounds like a
Who
Hugh
the fuck?
Hefner playmate, but it's a dude. You just can't. You can't win.
And I can't win. Oh well. All right. Well,
All right.
we ready?
I
Ready to
guess
move?
so.
Or we got some
Yeah.
fun stuff to talk about
All
today.
right.
Let me tell you.
Let's do some change music.
So, yeah, let's do that. So, we here at Two Guys, One Guy, we like to bring up what's going on in the world and then not address the problem at all, right? We're just going to have some fun, right? Because we're having a good time, right?
Right.
So this week, we're going to talk about a little thing called surge pricing that's been crossing the bridges.
It's
So what
dynamic
happened
pricing?
recently?
the price of
Dynamic
Surge soda. We love Surge sodas.
Yes.
This week we're sponsored
Yeah.
by Surge Soda.
Surge
Died
soda.
in 2004. They like died in like
yeah.
1995.
It was bad. But so last week, Wendy's new CEO said that starting 2025, they're going to start testing enhanced features like dynamic pricing or surge pricing, and offerings along with AI-enabled menus that change to give suggestive selling. So a spokesperson for the brand confirms the change, saying that they're going to make this to be more compatible and to make them more flexible in what they can offer.
Compatible?
So
I honestly think,
oh.
I honestly think these types of programs, these types of initiatives for people, it honestly reminds me of the movie Wall-E, when those fat bastards are just
By
sitting in
and
those
large.
chairs. It's like, blue is the new red. Buy blue. Take blue. And then everyone's like, oh, blue. And they all just have blue, right? And they just suck on their like nutrients that they have for the rest of their lives. It's like, is that what we're coming to? We're just have
floating
screens in our
chairs.
face. Like they even show the
Well, it's-
anatomy of their boot, of their like an X-ray, and like they've been sitting in those chairs for so long that their bones aren't even connected. They're basically like infants where they're not solid bone anymore. Like I feel like that's what
Yeah.
we're turning to do right now with this kind of stuff.
Well, it's when Wendy's is doing it, and again, the comparisons are being made to taxis, plane, flights. So some transport things.
Yeah, they've been warming us up to this for a
hotel
while.
rooms, gas prices. So there's a lot of things that are dynamic pricing. Essentially, it could change day to day. They could change based on availability. This seat available for this price for two more seats available, and then after that the price goes up. But they're trying to reach into food, grocery stores, things like that.
So-
That's the new
So essentially,
topic
we're
right
like
now.
day traders of everyday household
Oh, boy.
utilities.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing.
You got to know.
Hey, honey, honey, the toilet paper's it's dropped down 50 cents. We got to buy.
That's you're gonna be watching YouTube channels that are watching just things like toothpaste and toilet paper and knowing how much to buy into it on a daily, weekly basis.
See, and that's what I'm scared of. Like, you're gonna walk into a store because Colgate total toothpaste is dropped $3 or $4. People are gonna go in there and buy it, and then what are they gonna do? They're gonna flip it. Like, people are doing that now for regular stupid items.
And I'm wondering how is it going to work with things like when COVID happened with toilet paper and paper towels. It's, that whole, or that guy that bought a bunch of hand sanitizer.
Right.
I'm
Pallets.
sure for emergencies you wouldn't be able to do it. But like you said, what if someone starts doing that and then trying to resell it? Is that it's illegal, right?
Well, as far as the COVID hoarding shit, these stores can and have sort of kind of put a limit.
They'll put a limit. They'll put a limit. Yeah.
Yeah. They probably didn't do it effectively at the time because, it's never happened in this day and age. But for the next time, I don't know. We'll see. The thing I was thinking about is we know that there's a history of scams that businesses will use to get every little pinch every little penny out of your pocket that they can from, what do they call those? Not just labor fees, but service fees. Then it's tipping. In gaming world, they have all those microtransactions. There's always some little gotcha that they can just take a little bit extra out. And now with this surge or dynamic pricing, it sounds like the ultimate gotcha where they can just say that there's a high. How do we know? How would we ever know that there's a high demand?
It's very manipulative.
Exactly. It's gonna be like when you go like to Mexico or something like that, and you're like, how much is this? $20. And it's like you have to barter. Like that's what it feels like almost. Like we're reintroducing like the bartering system.
I remember one time when I was visiting my sister in Oregon, and I took a flight and I went to one of their kiosks and it had like little options to like buy things. One of the things that I purchased was like it was like a skip for some sort of like bag check or something. Like it's some way to expedite the process, right? So I purchased that for like $20 or something like that. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just skip a line or something.
It's called the fast pass, a genie pass.
And I get up to the guy and I say, oh, hey, well, I bought this. He's like, oh, well, that only applies to the airport. It doesn't apply to the TSA. And I was like, what do you mean? I bought it at the airport. You work at the airport. Like, how does this not apply? He's like, yeah, it's just not a thing. It's just not, it doesn't apply to us. And I was like, well, what did I buy then? It's like, he just kind of like, oh shit. He just kind of like shrugged his shoulders. Like, I don't know.
Oh my
God.
Like,
the TSA.
I was like, I'm buying. What's that?
TSA pre-check
right?
is this whole.
They're not.
Yeah,
state.
TSA pre-check is this whole thing. Like you go online, you get your picture taken.
But the airline themselves are selling this scam of like, well, you can skip this.
Yeah, that's a scam.
But the TSA guy's like, well, you can't because
it's
because
it's to
there's nothing to
skip the bad.
TSA is the line.
Well, it's probably if there was a really long line when you went to your airline, you could probably skip it. But if there wasn't, then you're just paying money for nothing.
Well, there's only three
exactly
lines
what happened
at airports. It's getting your ticket or checking luggage, then security, and then boarding the plane. And once you're at the terminal, who gives a shit? You're going to get on the plane. Security's the hard one. And then there's basically nobody ever at luggage check-in.
I love
the
the dog one where everyone has to walk in a straight line.
Yeah.
And then the dog has to like check. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Wait, what? What the fuck are you talking? I've never had that happen before.
Dude, you had to stand in a line. You had to stand in a line, right? A horizontal line.
God.
And you had to walk across this small section. And the dog like runs around you and like sees if you're carrying anything. It's like, dude, I'm just a fucking dude trying to go to Oregon. Like, why am I having to deal with
It was
shit?
weird. They circled everyone, and everyone that was Jewish, they took to the separate room. It was so weird.
First time I ever saw chain link fencing in an airport. It was weird. No, that happened to me once, and it was when I went to Texas last year. They had the first time I'd ever had the dog check, and it's this little pit. They have a working dog, a guy with a dog, and the dog's just walking up and down as they have one or two people walk through a straight line, and the dog sniffs your shoes.
Man,
it's so you don't have to take off your shoes.
There's something so fascist,
perverted?
or like not fascist, but just something about
violated.
having a dog. Yeah, it's like a dog is like checking you for something that feels like kind of prison-y. Kind of just like a little like 1984-y. Like I'm at an airport, man. Don't make like an animal check me. Like, you know,
dude,
like,
the last time I went to Disneyland, I brought in some like edibles and I put them in like this little pocket in my backpack. And I was like, oh, that probably won't fucking like go through everything. Man, they open your fucking bag and then go through every nook and cranny to find something. It's like, bitch, if I'm and then they found it and they're like, oh, well, you can't bring this in. I was like, look at this 18-year-old chick. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? What are you going to do with these little edibles? Like, go fuck yourself, man.
Sell them to kids is what I would imagine.
Like, what am I
that's what I would do.
What are they going to do? It's going to be the most pacified kid in the whole park. Like, is that what's going to happen? Oh no, the kid fell asleep.
Terrible luck. It's so easy to take in edibles to locations like that too. And
no, I know,
just
but
happen
I didn't
to find
think,
it.
like I'd. Yeah, and I was like, I look at her, I was like,
shove them up your ass.
Like, yeah, you can't bring it. I was like, what are you paid? Are you paid on commission by finding any sort of like contraband?
Look, Wesley, bullshit. I'm honestly like, no shit, no joke. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't like take your ticket or say like you can't come in. Like no shit. Like man, I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
I would have ran in as fast as I could and like dodged every freaking security person. Like, you guys can't catch me, fat asses. Come on, try it.
They'll kill
Probably
you. If you
happens
run
a lot.
through the security, they will fucking kill. I guarantee you, they'll shoot you.
Speaking, you know what?
Disneyland doesn't have guns.
Through security.
They have Disney guns, dude. You haven't seen those?
What are they gonna do? Shoot me with pedophiles? Is that what they're gonna do?
They'll turn you gay.
Bullets?
They'll turn you into chick and make you lame.
First time I ever saw Disney security, undercover security, was this last time, and right after I went through the gate, there were these two dudes by themselves, casually hanging out. One leaning on a trash can, one leaning up against the wall. But the one little like giveaway was the earpiece and one they had in their ear.
Cool.
And
like a Secret Service earpiece or like an AirPod?
Like a Secret Service with a little tube that wraps behind it. But
maybe he was deaf.
Never saw.
You ever think of that?
Yeah, two of them just hanging. Yeah, it's true. No. That's why I screamed at him.
No, he wasn't. Hey. No, he didn't look retarded. I'm pretty sure he was a special agent. All right. Well, we're getting a little. Let's go back to our surge pricing. But so the discussion points for today, we're going to start out with this whole surge or dynamic pricing. What's something do you think in America you feel will be the most affected by surge pricing? So the idea is, what will people keep buying even if the price keeps climbing and they're like, fuck it, I don't care if it's $1 more or $2 more.
Hold on. Should we, just for listeners, tell the difference between surge and dynamic in case they don't know? Because when you first said surge, you were kind of mixing it in with dynamic, so I thought it was just like the same thing with a different name.
Well, let's hear it, because I sure as shit don't know the difference. I'm talking about if like the price goes up because people keep buying more of it.
So for those listeners, all 5 or 2 of you, we've all heard surge pricing. That's the one you guys already talked about. Examples with lift, ride shares, airports, and that type. That's where, as demand goes up, the price goes up, and so they can get more money, which kind of makes sense in some cases, because
it doesn't.
Well, if you're talking about massive,
he has
service,
a point, Aaron. He has a point.
I know. It shouldn't. But it shouldn't. But
yeah, you're trying. It doesn't.
Business, if they can get away with it, they'll do it. If you'll keep buying it. But that's where it comes. We'll get into the problem of that later. But the term dynamic means that if something has a high demand, the price could technically also drop as there's a need for it, so they will make sure people are able to get it. Now, that in what fucking world is a
What
business,
business wants to make less money?
is ever going to have a good heart?
That is not going to happen.
Not even Patagonia or Tom's would ever fucking lower their prices if people really needed jackets or something. So obviously,
not at all.
It would have to be a thing that people need to survive. So typically food, water, that kind of stuff. And then they would have to have the intention of specifically losing profit to make sure people have this, which is I don't think would ever happen. And my biggest fear would be that a lot of companies are going to say they're doing dynamic pricing, but not actually. They're in practice, they're only surging, they're only raising prices, and anything they lower is going to be for shit people aren't buying kind of crap. So,
well, I'll give you an example of something where I think that's not happening. For instance, ever since inflation has hit, what the clever thing that some businesses are doing, especially like grocery stores, is that they'll keep the price the same. Let's say you buy a package of like popcorn. Let's say it's like $7, right? You buy a thing of popcorn. I love popcorn. Typically you'll get like, a pound of popcorn for like $7 or something. Okay. What they'll do now is that they'll reduce the size of the package to 8 ounces and keep the price the same.
It's the whole shrinkflation thing, that buzzword that is being used, and you get less for more, which I mean, maybe you should just eat less popcorn at that point. You fat
but
fuck.
that's just an example.
Do you really need 16? Yeah. No,
well,
I know.
But that's the whole problem with it. It's like and that's happening across the board. It's not just popcorn. It's everything. Everything has decreased in size and then it's kept at the same price. That's how they make it seem like they're keeping prices the same. They're not.
Well, in lieu of that, that's the other thing they could do is they surge it up because of high demand, and then they see zero drop in purchases, so then they just never lower it again. It's just the new baseline, and they hope nobody notices, and they just keep doing it.
So I brought this up to a customer once, and a guy who works in e-commerce was talking about it. And I was like, because I started talking about dynamic pricing, the guy kind of snickered, and I was like, "Oh, you heard about this?" He's like, "Yeah, I work in e-commerce. I know it's actually kind of a pain in the ass. Like logistically, it's a pain in the ass." That's what he was saying, and I was like, and he gave an example.
Right,
he's like, for instance, like I have a fixed salary. It's not a dynamic salary. My salary doesn't go up based on what I'm buying. So if you guys are surging a price or lowering a price, my salary isn't being adjusted to make up for that. I'm getting paid the same amount. You guys are charging me more for the same thing that I've been buying for years.
Here's probably an unpopular opinion.
Think of like people who are on Social Security with a fixed income.
Yeah.
It's like people. Oh, there's a high demand for penicillin. We're gonna jack that price up. It's like, well, what the fuck are these old people gonna do? They have a fixed income. It's not dynamic income. It's fixed. They're only gonna make a certain amount.
Ebenezer Scrooge it. You're decreasing the surplus population, and then huff, and then take your cane and walk away. No, but I think here's maybe an unpopular opinion here, but after thinking about it for a while, doesn't it kind of? I feel like it's kind of going to bring back the special things about like what we have. So if you could buy candy corn all year round, right? Candy corn becomes a lot less important or a lot less special, right? Because it's like it only comes out on Halloween, right?
Right.
You could go to the store and get pineapple anytime you want. Just can a pineapple or just get a pineapple. It's from Chile, it's from whatever. But maybe with the pricing changes, like the dynamic pricing, you might have to actually choose, hey, maybe I can't have this right now. I'll have this instead, and lead to either you trying new things or having things be special again. Like peaches, as an example. Peaches are available whenever you want, but I only get peaches once a year when they're at Costco and they're fresh and they're really good.
They're not available all year round.
Question though,
for sure, dude. You could get when can you get apples? When can you get bananas? Like, I'm not saying that they're going to be the same quality, but you could get peaches 365 days of the year.
Feels like
they're going to be more. They're going to be more expensive. I mean, they're doing that now. If you buy peaches out of season, they're going to be more expensive because they're going to like travel further and do stuff like that.
Does surge pricing affect supply? I know it's been hitting demand, say like gas prices and stuff like that. Anything that has high demand, they can easily raise the price. But supply, it seemed like they always had a...
Yeah, but there's inelastic items and there are elastic items, right? Like people need gas no matter what.
Right.
You always are going to need gas. You're always going to need water. Elastic items are like what you're saying, David. Peaches. You don't need peaches year around. You need peaches during the summertime.
This guy needs
settle
peaches.
down, okay? Look, I don't need fucking gas either, okay? I got my Tesla. No, I don't have a fucking Tesla, but people don't need gas, Wesley. Didn't you?
Yes, they do.
We need to go
That's
paint
old
Stonehenge,
school
all right?
Yeah.
Well, my point is like,
yeah, that's old school.
The idea, well, it's annoying to think that like you shut down an oil pipeline, gas goes up. You have a war in Iraq, gas goes up. There's all these things that affect prices of certain things, but when you start doing it across the board, that's when people are going to get a little frustrated. Like it's already hard. It's already hard. No one's making it easier. No one's making more money. Jobs aren't adjusting for inflation. People aren't getting cost of living raises. When you start fucking with people's like inelastic goods and elastic goods, it's like, what are you left with? Like you're left with nothing. You're left with artificial manipulation where people start just surging the price just to surge it, just to get people to buy other items. Okay, well, people don't want that candy corn. They actually want Nutter Butters or some stupid shit. Like it's a constant manipulation of what people are buying all the time. It's a huge problem. I don't think this is gonna fix anything. I don't think it's gonna help anyone either.
Oh no,
I think it's all based on the business.
This isn't gonna fix or help anything.
People will lie out of their ass. Companies will lie out of their ass to make it seem like they're not fucking you, and they will 100% fucking you right in the ass. No lube, fucking right in there.
Bullseye painted on, straight Dickens.
They're not even, and you know what the worst part is? They're not going to call you back after either. They're just going to fuck you and leave you there.
Yeah, I've seen a couple things recently. Weird, just little things like income tax used to be temporary during wartime. It was supposed to go away, and it's back. And obviously inflation seems to be permanent, and it's not only decreasing the value of your money, but increasing the prices of things. And then they're going to slap on surge pricing, which is annoying from a standalone point of trying to find a price tag to the fact that it could be any price at any time, and you don't know if it's honest or not. But then I was going to say the last thing, if they put it on these non-flexible, non-elastic, rubber bandy things like gas or food, then that's where they start talking about exploitation or monopolizing on a market.
The best thing is, because the free market anyway, if Wendy's starts doing it, or if Hy-Vee starts doing it or something like that, you just don't go there. And you just like, imagine if they're the only ones to do that, why would you go there? Well, that was one of my other questions, is like, when was the last time anyone ate at Wendy's? When did you guys go to Wendy's last?
Dude, I don't eat fast. The only fast food I've ever eaten in the past like years is like In-N-Out. That's like the only one. But even that's like,
but that's what I'm saying. It's just like, maybe Wendy's needs this. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that eat Wendy's, but it's one of those things where,
unrelated, but I just heard that McDonald's is going to start a price war with other fast foods. They're going to do this scoop and dupe thing where they just jack down their prices tremendously, and they lower all their prices to just totally rub every other competition. So I guess Burger King might be trying to match that. So there could be possibly a small period here where Burger King and McDonald's have super low prices.
Yeah, that's a common practice with a lot of like huge companies like that. Like they'll essentially jack their prices down so low to get your trust as a consumer. Oh, their prices are always so low, I'm going to shop there. And then once all the competition is gone, bam, they skyrocket all their prices right back up, and you're fucked again.
Well, that's how Amazon became. Is they took a loss. It's like a profit on a loss, where they basically lose money to get the customer base, and when they have the customer base, the merchants come over, and then when the merchants are there, then
it's been happening forever.
They screw the people, and then the merchants last. So I don't know.
Well, if cheeseburgers are 50 cents, you guys going to McDonald's?
I don't eat those fucking places.
There you go.
So it won't affect me. I don't know. I buy kind of weird, unusual style stuff from the store.
You're a vegan. Just say you're a vegan. Everyone knows what a vegan is.
There's that too.
That's what weird, unusual
that's the only
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, one of the other things is what's something that you do that you feel like you should implement surge pricing for?
Oh.
So you're saying like
surge
for
pricing
work, but what's like something that you do that you're like, I should charge someone more because I've been doing this too much.
Oh,
I'll tell
something
you right
that
now,
we do as a job or like as a work?
No, yeah, like as a person. So like for me, my surge pricing, the thing that I don't want to do that I want to charge people more is doing the dishes.
Oh,
can't fucking stand doing the dishes, man.
Well, that for me,
if I could charge someone more,
putting away clothes.
Yeah, but what
really?
threat do you? But see, David, you don't.
That's
what goods
weird,
are you
though.
offering that people are going to surge on? Like, but Tina's going to be like, okay, don't do. I'll do the dishes. Your dick ain't getting sucked.
No, she won't.
No,
is that the punishment?
Here's a better. I would say, what's something that you would hope out in the world would have extreme, not even common surge pricing, extreme surge pricing. I'll tell you what I would. First thing I'd want is if they could somehow charge you for driving on the freeway. That'd be amazing.
It's called tolls, Aaron. They already have that.
No, the real freeway.
Tolls.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The highways, freeways, anything that's not a city road. I want surge pricing on that. That would be so fucking sweet.
That would be good.
Oh
That'd
man,
be
could
good.
you? Yeah, I just want to see like a taxi cab. You know how they have that running meter? The second you enter the freeway, there'd be a meter running on your car. Just the longer you're on it, the more you have to pay. And then the more crowded the freeway is, the faster it charges too. Oh my god, I would love that. That'd be so good. There'd be people crying everywhere.
Yeah, but this is coming from a guy who doesn't drive.
Exactly.
Like, I have to commute to work.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude.
Exactly.
Like, they should charge you more for sitting on your fucking ass all the time.
I'm saving the world.
What's your commute? What's your commute, Wes? How much do you got to drive?
Regular.
It's no. First of all, my drive is on the 91 West, which is the most densely trafficked, most densely populated freeway.
How long does it take you?
So if I go in at 6 a.m, it takes me 40 minutes to get to work, and if there's no traffic, it takes me 20 minutes.
Oh my god!
Well, who knows? It might help you too. It might help you.
How would it help me if it's charging me more to go on the freeway?
Because maybe all the people taking up your space aren't going to work. They're doing stupid ass shit, and they won't be doing it after the toll
It'll stop
surge.
them.
Yeah.
It'll stop them from
You'll
driving.
be getting to work in seconds. It'll look like COVID week 1 all over again.
Yeah, your travel was pretty good during COVID, wasn't it?
It's be so good.
That was your first responder drive-in. That was.
Well, no,
I think when you drove in, there were people on the side of the road that were clapping, and
Ventura County doesn't have traffic.
Yeah,
there's no traffic.
It's not like LA traffic, but it has traffic.
Yeah, that's traffic.
Every single day, the 101 has morning, night, afternoon, especially northbound.
The traffic is inconsequential compared to most other places. Like, because I've driven both, and during the most rush hour times, it's not that bad compared to over here. And you're talking about a freeway that has 2 to 3 lanes in Ventura County. This freeway has 7 lanes, and there's still bumper to bumper traffic at 6 in the fucking morning. There's no traffic at 6 in the morning in Ventura County.
7 lanes trying to merge into one.
I take a smooth drive right into the heart of the capital.
Well, the reason why that
Iowa,
exists is because
and it's
the
a
cost of living
15-minute drive.
The cost of living in Orange County is so high, people move away and commute back to work. That's the problem.
Yeah, commuting is the problem because nobody can afford
the average commute. The average commute of a standard person is 25 minutes. That's the standard commute.
One way.
That sounds about right. Yeah, one way. Yeah, I would say any commute over 30 minutes is a bad time.
Like my mom, when she was commuting to work, it sometimes took her 2 hours to get back home on a drive that would typically take 25 to 30 minutes with no traffic.
Yeah,
2 hours.
They don't calculate that.
So you're talking about taking So you're not only like people are starting to get pissed about that too, where they think they should be compensated for their drive based on how long the drive takes. Yeah. Like because people are getting really pissed because of this stuff like this, because people are forced to move out because places are super gentrified and the pricing of housing is so expensive they have to move out of city and then commute back to work. So there's like and that's a problem too, is like with tolls. Like two of those lanes out of the 7 are toll roads. So you have to pay, money every day to use that toll road in order to circumvent the traffic.
You guys should move to Central America, man. I don't know what are you guys doing. It sounds like
getting blown away by tornadoes every other week.
I mean? Hey, look, you just hide under the floorboards just for like.
Do you even
20
have
minutes.
Tornado insurance? Like, what's the insurance like for that?
Oh yeah, no. Insurance here is the same. Like it's the same. Like we have tornado insurance. You guys have earthquake insurance. They're going to get you, Wesley. It's not like you pay less or more. Like so, yeah. I have tornado insurance, like hail, like stuff like that. It's all part of it's all part of my mortgage. I don't know.
It's tied.
I don't know how you renters do it. I don't know.
We don't have insurance.
Do you need to pay for insurance? Yeah, exactly.
No, sometimes
renters insurance is a thing.
Yeah, sometimes places require
renters insurance is a thing,
insurance.
but it's like $17 and it's for your stuff. It's not for your house,
right?
Because you don't need to insure your house.
Your stuff. People who own it do. Your house holds your stuff.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like for the actual house, like I'm required to have insurance because the bank owns my home, essentially. I'm just.
That sounds amazing.
He's talking us.
Well, I mean, that's what a loan is, right?
The same bank that just prints money for the hell of it, and
that's
my house.
That's the whole. That's the whole. Like when you rent a car, you lease a car. It's the same thing. That's all it is.
It's all
At the end of the day, if they wanted it, they could take it. So
yeah, it's horrible.
Anyway, I can't think.
Well, I don't know about.
I can't think of any surge pricing that on.
The biggest thing for surge pricing that I've had to deal with is simply like Uber and Lyft. So typically, like on a major holiday or the weekends,
I think that's where it kind of was popularized.
Basically, about doubled.
Yeah,
any normal
man, I haven't taken Uber or Lyft in forever.
A typical Lyft.
Well, it could be on
like 15 minutes.
It could be on
but
food
like on
delivery,
a holiday.
Right?
Maybe a little
delivery.
bit, but
well,
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, food delivery has surge prices.
It has
I'm pretty
to.
Sure.
Of course,
or they. It's like bid wars. That's what I heard anyway. Because it's
but I'm not
tip,
a fat ass, so
depending on how much you.
I can do that shit.
Well, doing that, ordering food through a ride service, it's like Ubers and Lyfts are cheaper than cabs. Uber Eats or DoorDash is 2 to 3 times more expensive than just getting the food yourself.
Well, yeah,
it's like,
and they think that
even like a delivery
pass, you actually reduce those fees, but you're still paying monthly.
Yeah, that's
so they still get you no matter what.
There was this guy that I used to work with in the Navy, and we had I was a what is it called? Like a not financial specialist, but I was one of the people that could do financial checks on sailors to make sure that when they were going to the next command that they weren't in debt.
Oh, really?
And my buddy who I had drank with and hung out with him a bunch, he had asked me, it was like, hey, you have all these tools and resources. Can you sit down and do my budget with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, dude, of course. Like, we'll set it up. And so I was like, just get your last months of your credit statement and then bring it in, and then we'll look at your pay, and then we'll do all that. So he brings it in, and this dude is in like $10,000 worth of credit card debt. Oh, like has a loan on his truck that he bought that's like $30,000. He ended up selling his house, or he bought his house at like way too expensive and had like a mortgage. And he comes in, and like we're kind of going over everything. I was like, hey man, this is like, what's going on? Let's see your your credit card statement.
You paid asking price, you idiot.
Every day, every day, 4 or 5 days a week, he would order DoorDash from
4 to 5 days a week.
This chicken, 4 to 5 days a week, he would order DoorDash. $40 to $50,
like $500 a month, I would guess.
He was paying close to $1,000 a month on takeout.
God.
And like we had calculated it, and like, it's one of those things where it's just, you have to like, hey man, let's actually take a look at how much you're spending. And that was his biggest expense. His biggest. My God. He paid more for takeout than he did
for anything else.
For his truck. Like his truck. And then that's what I told him. I was like, look at these side to side. Your truck payment with insurance is less than what you spend on DoorDash.
And if there's surge pricing on
that,
that,
what was his response?
He was like, well, I should probably, I should stop, like I need to stop. And I was like, yeah, dude, like, I told him, like, we recalculated it. Like, if you do not eat out anymore, you will be like debt free in 2 years. And like, that's all you need to do. Everything else, you can keep everything else. Nothing else needs to change. Just don't do DoorDash anymore.
Still 2 years just for that. That's crazy.
That's incredible.
I like that fast food wasn't good enough. Now just going out is too much to ask.
Exactly. Like he was buying it from a chicken place. It was like fried chicken. And it's like, dude, just drive to go get fried chicken. Like you I don't get it, man.
Well, even driving can be annoying, I guess. That's how tired people are of that.
But the money is where but they don't. That's an invisible cost. The tired cost doesn't really cost you anything,
right?
It's this expense of ordering it.
What do you think caused this? Is it driving?
COVID?
Well, no. It is convenience, but I mean, what caused this group of people to go from? Was it not being able to cook or be satisfied by food at home, or was it the
what happened?
Driving? What's worse?
Like people,
it is an addiction. We got used to dollar tacos, and so we could just go out. It was cheap as shit. It didn't matter. You could just go out and buy a dollar taco, and now tacos are $3 or $4.
Yeah,
and you're just like, well, what am I going to do? I have to eat tacos. That's what I do. I go and I buy tacos.
And they're tired from work, so they don't want to go back out to their car, which is in some parking lot, which if they lose their spot, then they're fucked. And then they have to get dressed and walk all the way back over there. And then they got to look for parking. Oh, and it's still rush hour.
That's what it is.
And they don't want to pay tips.
Guys. It's a war of convenience. We're in a war of convenience. And this goes across the fucking board. We are constantly inconvenienced with certain things like this. Like it is an inconvenience for me to get out of my air conditioned room, get into my car that I put gas in, and I have to drive to the grocery store. I have to pay for those groceries. I have to take those groceries back home. I have to cook and prep the meals for the week. I can't bother with that. So instead, the cost is then laid on the DoorDash, where now I have to buy DoorDash so I don't have to deal with any of that bullshit. I just want to sit down. I just want to sit here. I want the food to come to me. If I had my way, they would just put it in the DoorDasher would just come in and just start feeding me the food because I'm so tired of having to do this job that I just want someone to feed me.
I like that.
Like it's a constant. People need it. They need this convenience. They need it in their lives because everything else fucking sucks. Everything sucks. Like the shows we watch are terrible. The food we eat is terrible. Everything costs way too much. We need the convenience factor to be at an all-time high.
But you don't
feel.
But
better
the reason
about
why
ourselves.
the reason why it costs so much and because it's so miserable is because of you doing that though.
Yes.
So there was
too much packaging. You know when you get that, you order a pen and then it comes inside of a paper bag that's inside of a cardboard thing. It's inside of a foam stopper, and then it's inside of another bubble wrap, and that's inside of another box. That's your life. Like that's just to do something simple, like get a glass of water. Now you gotta.
You know what these are like? Yeah, so I was watching this commercial for Grubhub. It was because it's just on YouTube or whatever, and they have commercials. It was Snoop Dogg. He was rapping, and it was just like it's this luxury thing. You're sitting in the back on your jet, and they bring you food. You know what the delivery services like? What they're for? Because it was like COVID, right? It was for sick people, but that shit's for old people. That shit is for people who can't make it to the store, or Meals on Wheels. And it's like we're wearing diapers. it's like
it's Wally all over again.
Like that's what it is. It's like, hey, old people get the convenience of having someone wipe their ass for them. I want someone to wipe my ass for me too. And now there's a service that I can do that will get someone to wipe my ass. And someone's like, well, hold on a second. This service is for the old and for the sick. And it's like, you shut the fuck up. I'm paying you $5. They pay you $5. You now wipe my ass. That's what the food delivery service is. It's not meant for me or you or Snoop Dogg. It's meant for like old and sick people that can't do it. And
wasn't that Patrick?
We've ruined it.
Stewart and Kirk, the Star Trek guy, the Sir Patrick's
William Shatner.
And didn't they do a commercial for like Grubhub or something like that?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, but it's a job for them. Like, I don't give a fuck if Patrick Stewart does a commercial for Grubhub.
Well, it's again, it's like you said, the convenience thing.
Wearing diapers.
It's just.
Well, people.
That's what it is.
Like, it's.
In addition to that, there's the
sated
gig economy. I was just gonna say gig economy, where like jobs are. It's also been said that companies don't have a reliable stability at being a company. It's that whole working at the same business for your entire life, working your way up and getting retirement and all that stuff is basically non-existent. It's very easy for a company to drop you like a bad habit. They just doesn't matter how long you've been working there. They just instantly they'll fire you and you're gone because you made too much money. You've been working there for too long. So job security's gone. So gig economy kind of rose up. Plus jobs don't have to hire you full time. They get all these ways of getting out and giving you medical insurance and stuff, which by the way, I don't think your work should be giving you medical insurance. That's fucking weird. But
but you know what jobs you need to do in order to have that kind of security?
And delivery's it.
Delivery's
a gig.
Any kind of physical labor, like plumbing, locksmith, like installation, windows, stuff like that, where you can become like a master at your craft. Mm-hmm. And what ends up happening is the jobs that are you sit in the desk and then you do a bunch of bureaucracy shit.
Tech stuff.
Well, that's what AI will get rid of.
Yeah.
AI will get rid of all those people. They're not going to get rid of the people that work at HVAC. People need AC.
AI
You're not
is
going to hire
a
robot to install AC.
AI is the final realization.
You need AI to run an HR department because no one gives a fuck about HR and no one does shit about it. Human resources fucking waste of payroll.
HR doesn't even know how to do HR.
Well, AI is the final realization of outsourcing. It's like at first, the last generation we had to deal with, or our parents had to deal with, the Indian call center, right? Where they can't understand what's going on. Now the next generation is going to have to deal with the AI call center where they're like, no, look, what's the prompt that I need to give you? It's like, oh, I'm sorry. You need to, like, can you say yes or no? It's like, oh, God damn it. Can I talk to a real person?
We've had call trees.
Yeah, but they've only gotten. Yeah, but they're never getting better.
But AI call trees, yeah, they're gonna be. Well, now it's all gonna be call trees.
I'd almost rather talk to an Indian whose name's Joe, quote unquote, than who
from Cincinnati
who barely speaks English than a call tree. Yeah, from Cincinnati. Yeah, exactly. He's totally living in the States.
I don't like any of that stuff though. I mean, I like that DoorDash was convenient in some instances, but it's not a good thing for people, I don't think.
No,
and it's something that's easily abused at your expense.
Yeah.
Well, where do you think it's going to go in the future? Do you think it's going to stay the same, go up, go down?
Drones. It's going to be drones. You're not going to have drivers.
No, I saw first.
It's going to be too expensive.
I saw the first time ever. I saw one of those little bots that delivers food. It was a little cart with like 4 wheels, and it was just driving down the streets of LA, and I couldn't believe it. It's so funny to see. It's so fucking weird, man. I'm watching a little remote controlled box driving someone's meal across.
Soon what's going to happen is the bot's going to drop the meal off, and then another bot that's going to come and steal the meal and then bring it to them.
It's just a bigger box that eats the little travel boxes.
It was like that. It was like that. What was that in Judge Dredd with fucking Sylvester Stallone where what's his name? Savage. Rob. What was his name? Rob Snyder. Sorry, Rob Snyder's character. He's like hacks the recycled food center and is like in the middle of it, just like eating all the food and like trying to steal people's money, and he gets busted for like by Judge Dredd for fucking tampering with some sort of food service equipment. Or that's what's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that was in the 90s or whatever.
I don't know why I was thinking the one where he
the
fights
whole time
Wesley
it's just
Snipes.
Saying, eat recycled food. Wesley Snipes, no.
What's the other one?
That's Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, thank you.
Yeah.
Gets put on ice.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like surge pricing is not good for anyone. But I don't think it's going to be good. Our take
it's
on
not going to be good. The dynamic pricing either. I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to help anyone. I think it's only going to help companies. I don't know why people would like the idea. They may like it in the beginning because they're going to do a short-term drop and then they're going to do a long-term increase. That's just how it works usually. Yeah. And people, I don't know how people are ignorant to that scheme. It seems so obvious.
I don't know. I'd have to hear a convincing argument of how it has a positive spin on it, and I can't think of one.
Have a positive because
you certainly won't hear
company,
one.
They're not going to do it.
It would have to be
if it benefits
a very specific thing, though, right? Something that could. I don't know. I have no idea what it could be. Maybe there's something out there.
Couldn't. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Because there's
no way that it benefits the people at all.
Fathomable outcome would be that it reduces people's ability to purchase something. And I mean, there's a lot of things I could think of that'd be great if people spent less money on or time around, but I don't know how you would do that with surge pricing. They're probably going to do the same thing with and
that's the thing too. It's like people think of just food, but it's like what happens when it goes to like pharmaceutical products? People can't get medicine because there's a high demand for something, and they just surge price the fuck out of it.
Sure.
During another fucking pandemic, you can't get this, you can't get that.
Could be like ticket prices to a theme park or something, but
they already do that. Aaron.
They never. Like I know this isn't surge pricing, but I felt like, again, back to Disneyland, they had raised their prices in an attempt to lower the amount of people coming into the park because, well, now they actually set a limit to the park days. They have reservations. So I think they do have a cap of letting people in. But I don't know if they had that before, and maybe they've worked their way around it. But
they have surge pricing for tickets on regular weekdays.
Sure.
It's cheap. Weekends, it's more expensive.
Okay.
Holidays, it's more expensive. I seen you can just look at their calendar. It's right there in black and white.
Does it help? I don't know. Probably not. You're gonna buy it. So
yeah, it's terrible.
All right. Well, let's let's move it on along.
Another question or next segment?
Killed the surge pricing. Next segment. Let's talk about what's Aaron playing or what's we're playing. You playing anything, Aaron? Or are we gonna?
Nope, still in building mode. Still in maintenance.
Okay.
Maintenance. I'm in maintenance mode. Yeah.
What are you maintaining?
Okay.
Clean. I'm just trying to get my fucking life in order, bro. It's just all those little projects you shove off for another day. And I've had so much of it back up. I just I need to stop messing, like actually nail this in the butt and get it settled. And I'm almost done. I'm almost getting it wrapped up. So I haven't played anything new.
So that means. So you haven't been streaming either, then, right?
Well,
no, I haven't streamed for well over a month.
Saying,
yeah. I mean, I'm going to. The next step I have is basically just build more assets for the channel, which won't take long. It's going to be pretty quick, pretty fun, and then I'll get back to streaming. But fuck, man, there's still like a billion games to play that I own. Not even the ones that I don't own. DLCs for Elden Ring and shit.
Well, David and I can discuss.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, we've been playing modded Baldur's Gate 3 is what we've been doing. We've been having a hoot and hollering a good time with our Dragonborns together.
Dragonborns.
So that's that's what we've been doing, and it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been good. We're playing on tacticians, so we're playing a little bit harder. We both have our own characters, and then we're carrying around our one companion each, and it's a lot of fun. You haven't
I've never touched the game.
Haven't done a full playthrough, not at all.
No, I don't know shit about it. I know there's like a devil chick, a sexy vampire guy.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, man.
Yeah.
I would really. I mean, I'm sure it's.
I think you would really love the game, Aaron.
Probably,
I think you would.
Well, it's. I mean, it's an amazing game. You can definitely get lost into it. Wesley and I have we've played it through before, or
right.
I guess this is my first time having full control of it because I watched Tina and did the fighting for her while she did the story.
Right.
But we're having a good time. I don't know, Wes, we've been putting probably like 20 hours into it now.
Well, the funny part about the funny thing about that game to me, or the entertaining part of the game, is really the versatility and the ability to kind of craft a very unique type of character. Like, for instance, David's character is a dragonborn barbarian who has all the leaps and jumps you could think of. This guy. So like the average jump of a character is probably like 5 meters, right? Which isn't that far, right?
Okay.
This motherfucker has found and acquired gear that has increased his jump so much he can literally jump from one side of the screen to another, and vertical or otherwise. And on top of it, he chose the barbarian and he picked the Eagle Heart Rage ability, which allows you to do a diving strike as long as you're at least 2 meters above your character. So this
without taking fall damage.
You're a dragoon.
Without taking fall damage. So he's literally jumping up and down to attack a character, and he does it every.
It knocks them
time.
prone.
He's literally slam dunking these fucking characters. It's the funniest thing to watch. It doesn't get old at all because you literally watch it. You're like, "Where's he running to?" And all you hear is, and he's like running up, and then he jumps up the spot, and then he just dives down, and all you hear is, "Ah!" And he's just it's like eagles roar as he jumps down.
Is this the mod or is this standard?
No,
game?
that's just standard.
That's
the
standard.
The only mods we have are very minimal mods. So like we have quality of life mods.
Okay. Well,
yeah. So like,
quality of life. I would say they're more than. I would say that they're more than minor. I mean, for me, it's so you can move with WASD instead of with your mouse. So it turns it into more of like an over your shoulder third person game instead of like a tactical.
It definitely breathes a new life into the game when you, instead of an over the top view like a tabletop simulator, it's more of like again, it's more of like a third person view. It allows you to kind of immerse yourself a little bit more into the environment that they created. And it's really quite a beautiful environment. Like everywhere you go in that game is really quite spectacular. It's not, they didn't waste or spare any expense or detail in that game at all. And it goes into playing the game as well because you can see things more clearly
narratively. How do you guys play together? Because I remember
So
in
what's
Divinity
great
2, you would just see an audible option to click on if you're not next to your buddy.
What they have for this
It's kind of
game,
the same.
Well, it's not the same.
Well, from the Divinity 2 perspective is what I'm saying is like you could split off and like have conversations, but if Wesley has a conversation, a little ear pops up next to him, and then I can click the ear and then I'll join the conversation.
Okay.
Or he can mark it private,
you
and then I
can
wouldn't
have
be able
private
to.
dialogue, and there's an option for that.
Yeah.
So you can actually have a conversation that I don't want him to hear, and only I would hear it.
Well, we both had our separate dates, so obviously those were private.
The last time I tried to play a game with David and I tried to romance with him,
remember
he got all weird about it. So I was like, okay, Baldur's Gate is like the way to go. He got all weird, like I was gonna suck his dick.
It was perfect. It was perfect. It ended up working. Look, we had great first dates. That's it was a great party. But no,
couldn't go all the way.
What I'm excited about is like, and some of the other mods, we have additional spells.
Is there some aesthetics?
There's a bunch of aesthetic mods, but we're not playing with any of them.
So we're
playing with like quality of life.
Okay. A QL.
And then some extra spells and feats and stuff like that. But what's really exciting is the last update that they put out was the actual mod feature for the game. Like the official mod package for Baldur's Gate.
Official?
Which is going to make it a lot
made
easier.
By or sponsored by?
No, made by Larian Studios. They gave the toolkit.
Made by Larian. Here is use this to make mods for our game, and then they're stepping away. They're going like, we're done putting updates out.
Right, because that's what they announced. They're not going to do any DLCs or anything.
See, but now what that means, and what that means to me, playing a game like Divinity, similarly to Skyrim, is that once the community takes over, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
No holds bar. They can create full-on DLCs for the game themselves that you can download with ease without spending a single dollar. And that's what I've loved about the modding community since Skyrim, is that you have these people who are passionate about games who don't seek any sort of monetary value. Mind you, you can endorse them. Any mod that you download, you can endorse and contribute financially.
Sure.
You can do that.
Right.
You don't have to, but you can do it.
It's an option.
Yeah.
And
I would say the base game is still worth it even without the mods.
Yes. There's no real
but it's still game of the year. Yeah. It should be worth it.
There's no real fault in that game. There are certain things and certain bugs that they can tweak a little bit, which the modding community has already done. Like we had some camera tweaks to make the camera a little more fluid, a little more accessible.
Yeah,
which kind of goes into the WASD key movement, because you kind of can't use those key movements without certain camera tweaks. And then the certain organizational things, like because you get a lot of items and you get a lot of junk in that game.
Yeah, sorting your
and
inventory.
Most of it is just resold. So with this mod, bags to the power of 3 or whatever.
It's like bag on with WoW, it's just like another way to organize everything and make it easier.
So it's minimal mods for an already fantastic game. You don't need to do that much to it in order to make it better.
And since we both played it already, like we're kind of, we're still going through the story, and there's still stuff that either like Wesley's showing me a bunch of stuff that I didn't see on my playthrough, and there's been a few things that like Wesley didn't know about, that it's like, like that last fight we did, where it's like, hey, you could use those items to disable them, and things that we learned or whatever. So
it's one of those games you go through.
It's just a lot of fun
many times and never have the same
just
experience.
Like Elden Ring
before
like,
mods. Yeah,
it's the same thing with like Elden Ring, and I remember hearing some guy talk about the game, and in that same regard, Elden Ring was a game that developers hated, and the reason why they hated the game was because the people who created Elden Ring, the way he described it, the analogy he used was like they gave regular people keys to a Ferrari, and while the other developers who created similar games who weren't as successful were basically giving keys to like a Ford Focus, right? But the problem that people are having is that the car costs the same amount. So you guys are getting a Ford Focus for
everything
$60.
Costs $60.
Elden Ring, Ring was a huge success, and it cost the same amount.
Right.
And developers hated it because it was such a huge success. There was no bullshit microtransactions. There was no stupid season pass. It was simply a game they gave to the people, and everyone fucking loved it.
Yeah, I think if it was like the WoW auction house, it'd be the guy who's undercutting you all the time on your prices. He would just drop it way lower than they need to. Just games like these are very few and far between, as we all know, and to see
you should play it, Aaron, man. You should
see the passion that they
list.
put into this game. Like it's very noticeable. The fact that you could play this game several times and discover new things is incredible.
Yeah,
I think they not only deserve the game of the year, they left it on a huge mic drop when they won those awards, and then didn't
I definitely
have any DLCs.
Look forward to playing it when I do get around to playing it, for sure.
Yeah, and then once you do, then we can do a second playthrough, and we can
third
all
the fifth playthrough.
I mean, it's just fun.
Yeah,
it's such a fun game.
That's what we've been playing.
Fun game for fun people.
Fun game for fun people. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and I think that's it for today. Let's wrap this up.
The only other thing I would say is The Boys 4 season 4 is out.
Oh yeah,
at least 4 episodes are. So
I haven't watched any of it yet.
Otherwise,
really?
I've seen the first 2.
Heard it was straight trash.
Really?
What?
It was not. Yeah. Will you like it, Aaron?
I've seen 2 episodes so far. For season 4.
For season 4, you mean?
Yeah,
was
season
it not
4.
good?
Seems fine so far.
Oh,
that's what I heard. I've heard it's gotten terrible reviews, but
it doesn't seem any different from what I'm familiar with. But I mean, these shows have been running for so many years now. I feel like it came out 10 years ago at this point.
Probably did.
So whatever. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that another time. All right.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Thanks everyone for coming here. You guys together on the podcast. Appreciate your time, co-hosts Aaron and Wesley. Thank you. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Ciao.
Peace.
See ya.
All right.